Good morning and welcome to Tuesday, January 28th, 2020. And today we're still in the book of Zechariah. We're still in chapter 1, but today we're going to be reading verses 18 through 20. And if you remember, yesterday's devotion was titled The First Vision. Today's devotion is titled The Second Vision. That makes sense. So now if you remember Ezekiel all the way through Daniel and then into Zechariah, these are prophetic books written by prophets that God allowed to see glimpses into future events. And that is what we depend on for our faith in what's to come. And the fact that some of the events that were prophesied have already come to pass, which gives further credence to their actuality and truth. So again, I just hope that you read these devotions and listen to them as an encouragement to further your faith as proof and evidence of what we believe in. So getting right into it here, the second vision, Zechariah 1, verses 18 through 20. It reads, "Then lifted I up mine eyes, and saw, and behold, 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, What be these? And he answered me, These are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters." In prophecy, horns represent kings with authority and destructive power. In this case, they represented Gentile powers that scattered Judah, Israel, and the city of Jerusalem. Zechariah revealed that God would use carpenters or craftsmen to avenge the ruthless scattering of his people. Verse 21 states that these avenging nations would strike fear into those nations that seek to annihilate the chosen people of God. God made a covenant with Abraham that is still in effect today. That covenant states, and this comes from Genesis 12:3, "I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee." See, no nation can expect God's favor or blessings when it fights against his chosen people. In Revelation 6, Christian martyrs in the first half of the tribulation period appeal to God to avenge their deaths. God tells them to wait until he is ready to avenge them. "How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?" And that comes from Revelation 6:10. Believers today should rest in the assurance that God is in control of governments and nations. God is sovereign down to believers' very lives. That is the promise God made to every one of his children. Hebrews 13 verses 5 and 6 states, "I will never leave thee nor forsake thee, so that we may boldly say, The Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me." And our final thought says, when God says that's enough, there is no power that can stand against his might. You know, when we realize and remember that God created all, God is the beginning. Before anything, there was God. So everything was created for God and by God. Therefore, God is the ultimate in authority and power. So no other gods can come along and stake a claim that they are more powerful than the one true God. Because God is the supreme. God is the final authority, the creator of all things. Creations cannot be more powerful than their creator. And here we're reminded that God will judge and avenge any wrongdoings done to his people. That's why it's so important that the United States as a nation continue to bless Israel and support them in any way we can. Because by blessing Israel, God promises to bless us. And it is so evident throughout history in all lands and countries and nations that the United States is by far the most blessed nation on the planet. And it's no coincidence that the United States is the largest supporter and defender of the state of Israel. That's not a coincidence. So as long as we continue to support God's chosen people, God will support us. If we turn our back on Israel, God will turn his back on us. And that would be a miserable thing for our country to endure. So I just hope you remember that whatever comes about, good things, bad things, indifferent things in your life personally, God is in control. And God will see you through those bad times. He will enjoy the good times with you. He'll share those joyous moments with you. But when your times are tough and when you're struggling, don't think that God's abandoned you. That's when you need to reach out and grab his hand and let him pull you and guide you through that trial that you may be going through. Because God will allow it to happen so you can learn from it and build more character, and then ultimately be able to share that experience with others that may be going through the same trials. So then you'll be a benefit to others. So just remember, Romans 8:28 tells us that all things work together for the good for those who love God. That means good things and bad things ultimately will work together for the good for those who love God. And that's where you and me come in as believers. We are children of God. Bad things ultimately can provide good things for us. So I hope that's been a reassuring message for you. I hope you can take that throughout the rest of your day as a point of encouragement that you can use for yourself and share with others. So thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a wonderful and blessed day, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.